I'm back and I'm vlogging and I am very excited about it. I've had a broken vlog camera for the longest time, and then I was talking to my sister-in-law and she has the camera that I wanted. I actually switched cameras for like an equal value because I don't really want to go out and spend a ton of money on a new vlog camera. I am back. I know I say it a lot, but I want to start putting out vlogs again. And I was going to do a little get ready with me because I am about to get ready to go to work. My daughter is napping, so this is like the only time I really have. And then I also want to answer some Q&A questions because I've been getting a ton. So throughout this vlog, I will be answering them. I'll try to get to as many as I can right now, but I'm just gonna do my makeup and get ready. I kind of did my hair. I've been working a lot. I've been keeping busy. Summer has been hard with the kids home because, you know, we don't have much going on. I do have them in summer camp like 2 days a week, but honestly, it's not enough. I've been meaning to come on here to talk about my GLP-1 journey, or just kind of my experience. I mentioned this on Instagram and I decided that I wanted to try a GLP-1. I know there's a lot of negativity around it, especially when it comes to like influencers talking about it, but I do want to share some of my experience, some of the side effects I've experienced. I am now like weaning off of it, so I'm like done the medication. A lot of changes that have kind of gone on, and I do feel like it really did help me mentally because I was feeling just not myself in my own body and really discouraged. I'm trying this new foundation, by the way, this Tarte Timeless Hydrating Foundation. I'm gonna try it today. I don't even know if this shade will match me. I also put on my Glotion from L'Oreal. This is in Tan Sand, and like my body is really tan, so I'm just kind of hoping that this will work, but it might be a little bit too tan. I don't know. Anyway, so I really wanted to share my experience, like my honest thoughts about it. I did pay for it myself. I went through an online company, which I was very pleased with. I started to get these pimples on my neck because I've been sweating so much. Like, I've been working out and I am dripping when I work out, and I feel like that's been causing some neck acne. This is not foundation. This is what I usually wear. This is just a like sunscreen, a tinted sunscreen from Colorscience. It's 50 SPF and it's the Flex version. It goes on white, and then as you rub it in, it like melts into your skin tone. I have the one medium. This is what I wear every single day. I'm almost out. This is my second bottle of this. I love it so much. I like things that are lightweight in the summer because I don't like to wear a lot of makeup at all. Like, really just cover up some of my imperfections. I want my freckles to pop through. So I will talk a little bit about my experience. No, I did not go on Ozempic. I was on a triceptide. I was on Zepbound. So kind of how this started was that I went to my OBGYN to get a bunch of testing done and blood work because I thought that I had PCOS. I've been struggling with like over 20 pounds of weight that I haven't been able to get off. I have also been dealing with a lot of like hormone issues. I just kind of assumed with what I was experiencing, especially with my period symptoms. Also, you know, struggle with PMDD. So I talked to my doctor about that, but I really wanted to get a bunch of blood work done to see if I was struggling with PCOS. And it was many different symptoms, but I also have dealt with a lot of weight gain after having my daughter. I gained like 10 pounds in the first year, 10 pounds in the second year after having her. And yeah, it was super discouraging. I didn't feel myself in my own body. I didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to vlog myself. Like, I've really been down about how I look, how I feel. And I also, you guys know, like if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I also worked with a trainer for about 5-6 months and I barely lost weight. I fluctuated between like 3 to 4 pounds And that was it. And that was over months and months and months of eating super clean, doing 10,000 steps a day, doing workouts, and like the weight just still wasn't coming off. So at that point, I was just over it. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on with my body. I got all the blood work done. Told me that I do not have PCOS. I guess from whatever they checked, she said that I didn't. And I kind of swore that I did. And then basically what came back was I still have high blood pressure, but I also have high cholesterol. And then my OB was kind of like suggesting, because at this point I had gone to a hormone specialist, like I've gotten a whole panel done there. They told me I was vitamin D deficient. Like that's about it. They're like, besides the lifestyle changes, I was still struggling with this. And I was to the point where, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was desperate and I decided to do it. I am glad that I did, but I don't think that I prepared myself enough for it the way I should have. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about my experience, and then also give some tips on, like, if you are looking into a GLP-1 journey and like what that might look like, and to take the proper steps when you start. I'm comfortable with the way I look right now. I have lost almost 14 pounds and I decided to stop. My goal was to lose the 20, and I was like, okay, I'm fine right now. I feel like I can maintain the rest and hopefully lose the extra few pounds, but like I'm comfortable with where I'm at right now. I think the biggest thing that I have noticed is the inflammation. Holy cow, has my inflammation like diminished in my face, my hands, like just overall the bloating, the inflammation in my body, I feel like just disappeared. In the first like couple weeks, I do have, I'm gonna open up my phone so I can show you guys. I've really been liking this contour stick. It's from Physicians Formula. I ran out of my Rare Beauty one and I didn't feel like spending money on that one because it's expensive, so I got this one. Oh, I lost the other part to it. This is the Butter Glow and Go. I don't really use the blush side, just like the contour side of it, and then I'll just kind of like buff it in with a little buffer. This gives such a nice bronzy look. And then I'll go in and set it. And I still use this like Hoola caramel bronzer, which I've like hit pan on in the summer. This is so nice because it's like a lot warmer. I will share some side effects that I put in my phone. The first week was a little rough. I had nausea and stomach pains. I did not feel good at all the first few days. I actually was like kind of getting anxiety about the way I was feeling, and then probably by like day 3 or 5, between 3 and 5 of the first week, I got my appetite back. So the first couple days I like could barely eat anything and just could barely stomach the thought of food and eating because my stomach hurt so bad. And yeah, I would say by the end of the week I was like good. My appetite was back. I could eat it as normal. And then I would say I ate pretty normal for the first like 3 weeks. Like I was pretty good. I would say I would maybe have one day where my stomach was a little bit off, but other than that, the first 3 weeks were pretty decent. Like I was okay. By the 4th week, I wrote in here that I was almost 7 to 8 pounds down, which is a lot. That's only 1 month. And I was like really starting to feel it on week 4. I was like feeling really good about myself. Week 5 was probably the most brutal. I don't know what happened, but this is when I noticed that like I really needed to implement some supplements, fiber, take a prebiotic. I was not well on week 5. It was so brutal, and TMI, but like I will be talking about gastro stuff. I had incredibly painful constipation, and one thing that I did not do was take fiber or take any type of supplement to help that when I started. And I want to say that you most likely will have some gastro issues, so be on top of it before you even take your medication. And I regret that, because I really struggled. Like week probably 5 and 6, I was very much in pain and I just could not use the bathroom. But that only lasted probably like a week and a half or so, and then I kind of went back to normal. So I do want to say too, this is something that I noticed, and again, this might just be because I was losing weight at a very fast pace, but my period fluctuated a lot the first 2 months. My period was 5 days early the first month, and it was 5 days late the second month. So I don't know if that had to do with just the fact that I was losing weight, and sometimes when you do lose weight quickly, those things can happen to your menstrual cycle. Another thing that I noticed was the hair loss. So I lost a ton of hair. You guys know I wear extensions. This is not all of my hair. I'm very insecure about my hair actually. And the hair loss probably started by the second month, but I was shedding a lot to the point where like every time I was in the shower, it was just coming out in like clumps, and I was feeling it. Like when I would gather my hair together, I was losing a lot. By week 7, I was down 10 pounds. And then I just wrote in here, like I started taking a ton of supplements like on the second month. So needing a fiber supplement or eating fiber rich foods, you need to drink a ton of water, magnesium every day, high protein, take hair supplements as well. Like there's so much that you need to take alongside of doing these shots. I wrote some positives on here, and then I've also wrote some negatives. Like I said before, my inflammation completely diminished. Like that was the biggest thing that I've noticed. I love it. I love not feeling inflamed. I love not feeling super bloated in the morning. Every time I eat something, like I just felt lighter, way lighter. My clothes fit so much better. I feel so much more confident when I put things on. And it's also crazy because now when I put clothes on and I look at myself, I'm like, holy crap, I was so much heavier than I really thought because of just the way that your clothes feel. Like my jeans, my shorts, my pants, my stomach has gone down so much. Another huge thing that I noticed was my brain fog completely went away. I don't know what it was, but I could tell you stories of the brain fog that I had before I started this medication and how it has completely gone away. I feel like my mind is clear. I feel like I remember things better. I was so forgetful and like truly getting in my head about so much before I started this. I'm not even going to go into detail about certain things. I'm honestly embarrassed to even share, but the brain fog, I felt like I was not, like my brain was not working most days, and that is completely gone now. I was eating so much better. I wasn't having cravings. I wasn't like itching to have snacks at night, because I am a snacker and I snack at night. Like that's something that, you know, I just like to cuddle on the couch after work and get under my blanket, watch a show and eat snacks. And sometimes I would even snack out of boredom, but I just stopped doing that. I also noticed that I had way more energy and like wanting to work out and enjoying working out. And I think that this was the biggest thing for me, was I actually, because I was losing weight, I felt way more confident about my body and like wanted to improve. I wanted to eat better. I wanted to work out. I wanted to continue. One of the biggest things that they say is like, you have to have a lifestyle change along with this medication. Like you have to be doing these things or else it will not work. And I just noticed a huge change in my mental as well. Like I felt different when I would work out. I felt way more motivated, had way more energy. Feel necessarily like a chore, like I actually made it a part of my routine. I would work out like a few times a week and incorporate a lot of like weightlifting and cardio, and I would see my body change. And I feel like that was the mental part of it, was like, okay, I see these changes, I need to keep pushing. You know, you could probably say all day long, well, oh, you know, it's just the medication, like it's playing games in your head, like you think that you're losing weight from working out, but it's just the medication. Yeah, very well could be, but I was literally seeing muscle changes in my body. And that's another reason why doing more protein and a high protein diet is so important, because you will deplete your muscle mass on this medication. I was literally seeing like my muscles come out. Like I was seeing ab definition come out. I was seeing like my triceps show more because I'm working on my arms, which is a huge insecurity of mine, which is why I don't wear tank tops. And now I actually feel like I can wear a tank top. That's a positive. I have felt so much better working out and just like wanting to work out. Like I don't always enjoy it. Like who enjoys, you know, lifting weights? But because I see the changes, it makes it more enjoyable for me, and it helps me tremendously mentally. One thing that I have noticed, and something that my husband has noticed, is that I am very emotional. I don't know if that has to do with just like the changes in my menstrual cycle, things going like being all over the place, but I have been like very emotional. I've also dealt with some, and these are negatives, I've also dealt with some more anxiety and actually getting panic attacks again, which I have not experienced in years. So I don't know if that's the medication. That's the only thing I can think of. Also just being super stressed out with life, and you know, there's more going on in my life. I can definitely see how this medication can be abused, and I do want to say that it's, you know, not for everyone, and I don't have any regrets because I have had like a good experience, but I also don't think that people like do the proper research and know what they're getting into when they take these medications. It can be harmful for certain people, and the route that I took with like getting it online, I used the company Row. I had a great experience with them. Like, they really helped me through all of my symptoms. They were super prompt about getting back to me, like literally within minutes. I wouldn't even need to wait a day for them to get back to me. I had a great experience, but I know that that's not everyone's experience. I take a ton of supplements every day, but I've really been loving the Belly Welly. You don't have to be on a GLP-1 to take Belly Welly, but it is good for anyone who's on a GLP-1. And it has probiotic, collagen, electrolytes, fiber. I think that's everything. They might have magnesium as well in there. But it's like an all-in-one product, and I have gone through like 2 big tubs of it, and I have loved it. They have really good flavors. I'll link it below. It's so good, and it really did help me. One thing that I am kind of still struggling with is just like getting the protein in. And this is like the same thing that I did with the trainer that I had, was just doing like a more high protein diet. So I've learned ways to like get the protein in, but that has been something that's a little bit harder, is just like adjusting your diet and getting things that will help. I think that's everything that I wanted to share, and like my full experience. That's like all the notes that I took. I would say that, you know, I am a little nervous about like going off of it, because I am like in the weaning process right now, so I'll have to update you guys on how that goes and like how I'm feeling. They say that you will start to like get your normal appetite back and like get hungry again, and you can fall back into you know, bad eating habits. So I think getting off of it is literally all about discipline. I think there's many people that get off and they, you know, their weight doesn't fluctuate and they keep the weight off, but I think it really is about discipline. It's like continuing to work out, continuing to eat well, and take care of your body. So that is the process I'm in right now. I'm just hoping that I can keep the weight off because I've been feeling so much better and I feel more confident, and I actually like want to get on camera again. I feel like that was the biggest thing for me, was just feeling so not myself in my own body. There's definitely still things that I want to work on, and I know that I can do that with working out. On this foundation though, I'll go into natural light so you guys can like see what it looks like. So lightweight and really blurred everything so nicely. I really like it. And the brush came with it. So it was like a little duo thing. Again, this is the Tarte Timeless Hydrating Foundation. I need everything like hydrating, glowy in the summer. Like that's literally all I want, and I barely wear any makeup. I just threw like a shadow in my crease. I put a little bit here. I don't even put anything on my under eyes. Like I barely ever put mascara on my under eyes. I just have these like Amazon cheap lashes on that have like the segments. I'll link them in the description. Last thing I'm going to say about the whole GLP-1 thing, if going on it makes you a happier, more confident person, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yes, there are side effects. Yes, there are health concerns. Take it at your own risk. That's literally all I can say about it.
Well, hi, Luna Lou.
I'm so obsessed with this painting that we got for our master bedroom above our bed. It's from Art and Olive, and it is so gorgeous. I'll have to link it for you guys, but this one's called Resurrection Morning. So pretty. Love the gold frame too, because it matches really well with like our headboard that we have. I honestly do not know what to wear to work. I have clothes on the floor, don't mind that. But I've had these pants for a while. I actually showed them like in a Instagram reel from Magnolia Boutique, and they actually got really tight on me and now they fit me again. So obsessed with these tank tops from Amazon. I have them in so many different colors. I will link them. They are perfect. I love the straps on them, and they're like a ribbed stretchy material. Such good quality for Amazon. I'll show you the other colors I have. This like heather gray color. We've got a cream color. I think they're like $13, $14. Olive green, and then black, and then I have another gray, which is like a darker gray. They're so good. I'll link them below. I'm gonna answer just a few more questions before I have to go to work. I have to go to work in like an hour. But I got a ton of questions that I screenshot on Instagram, and I wanted to answer a few of them. One said, was your faith always high, or did something make you closer to God? No, I actually went through a period of resenting God and being really mad at God, and that was probably right before I got married. I talk a lot about this in my testimony video. I also share kind of my come to Jesus moment, what happened to me about 6 years ago. You can see my answer there. If you want to know, I will have my testimony video linked in the description. But yeah, something just totally changed in my life. I went through like a really traumatic experience, and it brought me closer to God, and I literally found Jesus through that experience. So always get the question, do you want any more kids? Honestly, I am very content and happy with our family right now. I feel like there's a lot of more things that I want for us and for our family before I could even think about having another child. I also look back and think like, you know, I'm gonna be 32 in a couple weeks. Think about where I sort of wish I was, like as far as finances and just like owning a home and all of these things that I wish would have happened by now. And I think that it would just be too much. It would be irresponsible to have more children. I feel like if that's something that, you know, God blesses me with, I would be okay with it. I'm not preventing it, I'll say that, but I am not even thinking about it and not wanting another child right now. I don't have a desire for it. I am really content with my 2+1 children. I have a stepdaughter who's much older, but I'm happy with my son and my daughter right now. Like, I feel like our family is complete. I don't have that like longing or like, oh, what if we add another? I don't know, I just don't feel that way. And I think it's because I also had this is kind of a long answer, but I also feel like I had very traumatic experiences with like birth. I had both of my kids early. I had preeclampsia with both of them, and my health was at risk with both of them, so I don't really want to go through that again. Also had very bad postpartum depression and anxiety after both of them. I miss your cleaning videos, just an idea. They really gave me motivation. I do want to do more like routine videos, cleaning videos. You guys know I don't show a ton of my family anymore. I keep a lot of my family life private, but I'm looking for things to vlog and film because I know that you guys still enjoy hearing from me and watching, but I'm just trying to be a little bit more creative with it. So if I can do like even routine videos, get ready with me's, fashion videos, or just like cleaning my house and doing stuff around the house, if you guys would like that, I'll do more of it. What does your quiet time with the Lord look like in this season? I have really tried to focus on my prayer life and involving God in daily struggles, decisions I'm making, just making him a part of my everyday. And I know there's times where I'm like, oh, I don't have time to sit down for an hour and read the Bible. Just talking to God on a daily basis, I feel helps me so much, and it is such a personal and intimate thing with the Lord. Like, having that relationship with God, involving him in your everyday is so important. I really try to focus on that, because I think when you make it more of like a chore and a task of just like reading your Bible, there's no like longing for the Lord. Like, I want to take the time to be in his presence, invite him into my day, and talk to him. So that's kind of how it's been looking like lately. I still read my Bible. I am still like doing Bible study and stuff like that. But I will say, I think because I've gone through a lot mentally, I have taken a step back, and I'll be honest, I do feel that I have very much been spiritually attacked in my mind a lot lately. Like, over the past several months, I have felt that way. And so I've stepped back from the Bible study that I did on Instagram with everyone. My daughter just woke up from her nap. Hi, baby. Oh, God bless. You okay? What's wrong, honey? Laura, she's about to be 3, a day before my birthday, and she has had some asthma symptoms ever since she was 1. I think it has a lot to do with her being like a preemie and being in the NICU, because she was induced, or I was induced to have her, but every time she gets like a bad cold, she has asthma symptoms, so she's had to be on an inhaler. Today's the first day after several days that she's not on her inhaler, but it's been a struggle. You want to go downstairs?
I need my inhaler.
No, you don't need it right now. You don't need it.
I need a big coffin.
You were coughing, but yeah, you don't need it right now.
I need...
Someone said, how is your job? It's fine. I'm, you know, working outside of the house probably like 3 to 4 days a week. I do work Saturdays, which has kind of been conflicting this summer because it's been hard. Like, there's birthday parties, there's lots going on the weekends with my kids, and taking off and working Saturdays is not ideal. So my schedule will probably be changing. I haven't talked much about like my other job because I just kind of want to keep it a little bit more private, but I think I will eventually share what I'm doing, and yeah, we'll just, but it's going well.
Mama,
it's fine.
Mama.
It's mainly, yes baby.
I want to eat.
Okay, what would you like to eat?
Someone asked, do you still bake sourdough? I haven't baked in like what seems like months. I think I made my last sourdough like maybe 2 months ago. It's been a while. I do really miss it. My starter, or my discard I should say, was in my fridge for so long, and it just like was not coming back the way I wanted it to. Because like if you've had it in the fridge forever, you kind of need to like feed it and then like put it back. But I really feel like I need to start over and get either another starter from my mom, or like order one that is dehydrated and just like start fresh. I do miss it a lot, and it's just so nice to wake up in the morning and like bake a nice fresh loaf of bread. Someone asked, how is your marriage since getting closer to God? Better? Question mark. You've been a huge inspiration. Well, thank you so much. So I have a whole video on my main channel. I also said that I would do more Bible studies over there, but I'm very proud of this one video that I made because it not only helped me, and I'm still learning from it, but I feel that it has helped a lot of people, and it has opened my eyes to so much in marriage, especially if you are like unequally yoked in your marriage, which basically just means that, like, you know, maybe you have a stronger connection to God, maybe you are striving to, you know, walk with God every day, maybe you are striving to be better and read your Bible, and like your partner isn't. Partner maybe doesn't have the same beliefs as you. That's kind of what unequally yoked means. Anyway, I did a whole study on that and marriage and just how difficult it is. And sometimes when you see things, believe things, and are walking with God, you start to almost like resent your partner because you want to see that change in them, but their journey and their walk is different. And like, how do you navigate that as a wife? What does the Bible say about that? I talk a lot about that in that video. It's just a little side note. But how is my marriage doing? It's going, and there are always challenges, and there are many things that I've learned. Definitely ever since I became closer to God, like I said before, I feel like my marriage has been spiritually attacked. I have been attacked mentally, and I think that is just a normal walk in your faith. I know in 1 Timothy, I was just reading this the other day, but it says, fight the good fight of faith. And that's truly what I feel like I'm going through. Like, I am fighting through my faith. I am fighting through challenges. I do feel like that builds resilience and endurance in me. When you're fighting through your faith and trusting in God, which is the hardest thing, because our timeline and the way that we want things done is very different than God's will. And so trusting is difficult. It is probably one of the hardest things to do, because you can believe all you want and you can say that you believe in God and know things about God, but when it comes to truly trusting, laying things at his feet and saying like, I give all this to you, God, I trust you, that's very, very hard. And also resisting like your own temptations and like the things that you want requires so much like effort and discipline, and you know, even through marriage struggles, I feel like the Bible speaks to me, like God's word literally speaks to me and is like, remember, Megan, you need to have a gentle and quiet spirit. Like, I feel like, you know, God speaks to me through his word. Say that there are so many things that I desire to see in my marriage, and we're not, you know, quite there yet, but I am holding on, and I am trusting that God's timing will reveal those things. And it's hard. It is very, very hard. I feel like the past few years have really truly been some of the hardest years in my life, raising young children, you know, financial struggles, so many things. But it is absolutely tested my faith. It is absolutely made me question things. And that's the biggest thing too, when people are growing in their faith and they go through hard things. They're like, wait, God, like, I'm following you. I am, you know, trusting in you. I am, you know, believing in what your word says. Why am I struggling? It's like the struggle is the point. It's the whole point. Like, there is no growth without struggle. There is no change without struggle. We go through pain and suffering just as Jesus did. So that is the whole point. The Bible speaks about suffering so much. It makes you realize how much this earthly life is so temporary and fleeting. Because you believe in God doesn't mean that you're not going to suffer or go through hardships. Because every person, you know, in these Bible stories, when you read, their life isn't perfect. And realizing that, like, God uses suffering and God uses those pains and struggles in your life for a reason, and it's to produce growth in you. He's testing your faith. When you realize that, it's a different story. Sorry if I'm talking so much. I haven't talked to the camera in a while, and so sometimes when I do, I end up talking too much or just don't know how to, like, cut it off, you know. Someone said, how do you navigate family, like your brother, sister, parents, etc., not always seeing eye to eye? I'm gonna bring it back to my faith again, but I pray a lot for my family. I pray probably more than they would ever know. And something really got me the other day. I forget who I was talking to or where I saw this, but it was saying how, like, anyone who, you know, doesn't believe or, like, doesn't follow Christ, we will not remember any of them in heaven. And that, like, really got to me. This is why, like, the family unit in itself is just so important, and raising children to know God. Someone said, how do you keep your home so clean with kids and pets? I don't. I feel like that's just, you know, social media makes things look so perfect, but truly my house is dirty. I have a dog, a cat, and I have, you know, 3 kids, 2 that are younger that make messes every single day, and I vacuum twice a day, and yeah, I can barely keep up with my house. I can barely keep up with laundry. So no, my house is not always clean, nor is coughing downstairs, so I'm probably gonna go down there in a minute. Someone said, has getting a part-time job helped you financially and mentally? Yes and yes. Said, do you want more tattoos? If so, what? I'd say this one is probably the only one that I like now, and it's my kids, their name and then their birth flowers in like a little bouquet. I really like this one. I love how dainty it is, and it's so pretty. And then I have little like butterflies next to it that are supposed to symbolize the babies that I lost. I have Be Still right here, which I like, but I kind of wish that I waited to get this and it be a little bit more like dainty, because I don't love the writing of it, but it's a good reminder. I do like the placement of this though. And then I have an elephant on my ankle. I don't like it. I don't know why I got it. I was in a time in my life where I was like obsessed with elephants, and I don't know. It's fine. Like, I would probably cover it up with something, or maybe make it look a little bit better if I were to like adjust it at all. I actually really kind of want something on my back, either like a Bible verse, or I have one in mind that I would like, but I don't know. It's not really worth the money right now. I'm going to pause for the questions right now. Maybe I'll answer some like tomorrow or whenever I can get back to vlogging. I have to get ready for work. I gotta leave soon. I want to feed the kids, make sure that they're good, and I'm not sure when my husband will be getting home from work, but I hope you guys enjoyed those questions. I'll answer some more, but yeah, I'll see you in a little bit.